Welcome to the Ready or Not Community Podcast, created by the community for the community. In this podcast, we discuss a wide range of topics, from general discussions and also questions about the game before its major release. And the best part about it is that anyone can join, even you.
Hello, everybody who just joined to the podcast numero 3. And yeah, today with us we have Durek.
Hey.
He's a YouTuber. If you haven't subscribed yet to Durek, just go ahead and do it. We got GeForce Man. He's a guest today.
Hello.
And of course, we've got the famous Mr. Martin Freeman.
Evening, morning, afternoon, people, wherever you are.
So today the topics for the first one gonna be traps. So what you guys think about traps? How will it work? And what do you guys expect will we see? And whether or not?
You know, I almost thought you were talking about something else for a second there.
Well, obviously I'm not, so.
Honestly, I don't know if there's actually going to be any traps in the game. Martin?
The thing is, if we do add traps, of course, it depends on, balance issues, of course. I think mostly AI will be deploying traps, and obviously, lore-wise scenarios, like some crazy guy's got some, weird contraption on the door, or maybe, like a sliding door's got maybe like some sort of explosive device on it. I think that's where we'll see most of it. PvP-wise, would we really use traps? Because, of course, again, it depends on, is it SWAT v SWAT, or SWAT v some sort of, unknown military force or something?
Should traps minus points?
Depends if you're playing as like SWAT, I think. Yes, definitely. But otherwise, meh.
I just thought that it was an odd idea because you're a SWAT team that's going into a building, so why would you set off traps? Because in SWAT 4, the traps actually made a noise alerting the enemy, which I don't know. It's like that they're coming, right? So I don't get the idea.
I feel like there wouldn't need to be a problem with the points in the system because most likely not many people would use them because any sort of first-person shooter game that people play, they rarely ever use traps.
Obviously, I don't think we're gonna see for the SWAT officers any kind of trap, except maybe something like deployable cameras, which I hope we won't have, and maybe something like motion capture traps that just tell you, oh yeah, okay, there was motion in that room. Maybe they're gonna be like a person or some kind.
Traps don't have to be oriented to, let's say, certain teams. It depends what you mean by trap. Do you mean like unconventional tripwires, or do you mean even just walking through, like, let's say, some sort of like, how do I say it, metal detector that goes off and you're being pretty much used as bait? Because traps depend on how you mean. It could be traps intended to bait someone in or trap one individual, so the whole other element has to focus on helping that individual, obviously, exposing their back. Or it could be simple as walking through a metal detector when it hasn't been turned off or managed by whoever's managing the building.
Or laser beams.
Yeah, what I think maybe what we know so far, I think like a school shooting will be there, like as a scenario. I think there might be something like pipe bombs as a trap, like setup, and that the SWAT team needs to defuse them. That's like the
potentially.
Yeah, that's something I could imagine being in the game, but I don't really think like we're gonna see a lot of traps.
Yeah, I mean, like the most traps that I've seen is SWAT 4, which I don't know if this was a part of the Elite Force mod, but it was just a trap where the moment that you open the door, like a loud ringing noise came out, and that was about it. Like I can't.
Yeah, Triggered Happiness just said in Elite Force there were explosive-looking traps and the alarm traps as well. Yeah, we might see something like that in Ready or Not. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all I got to say.
Okay.
I'm big on this.
I mean, I don't think, traps, meh. I hope they won't implement something like deployable traps for SWAT, because that's not really realistic, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're not the defending team, so that would make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, we've seen something like that in Rainbow Six, but obviously Ready or Not is completely different from Rainbow Six, and it won't work. Yeah.
We're going to be talking, the best they're going to be getting for traps wise, or just, delaying any enemy action would probably be just door wedges, really. That's probably all you're going to really get. But of course, PvP is kind of important to know. As simple as it is, like lore and everything, it's pretty important in knowing what kind of kit you're going to be expecting in PvP.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I think. Right now, asking the chat. The chat. Do you guys got any other ideas? So traps, explosives, or something like deployables will work, like deployable traps.
I know that there's deployable ladders, which I don't think that was in SWAT 4, but I don't know if that really counts as.
I don't
Should
think
I have
shock
also
traps
this-
would technically
yeah.
work in a situation like this.
Yeah, I think shock traps would be a little bit. Oh, yeah, unrealistic. I mean, traps. I don't like seeing traps, and I don't really mind them being in the game, but if it goes for me, I rather have them out of the game, like completely, like no traps. Maybe for special scenarios, as said, for example, school shootings, pipe bombs, etc., or barricaded suspects with like maybe trip wires and other stuff like that. That would be a possibility, but other than that, I don't think traps should be like a big deal in Radio Not. Anyways, I think I mean, traps is not like such a big topic to talk about. What you guys think? Shall we like move on? Or
Just really quick. I mean, I could see sensors, like they'll sense when the SWAT's like around the corner. I could see that, but like a claymore, like do they really want to go that far? Like I don't.
Most likely
Mm.
not, because those tend to be very lethal, and most likely SWAT don't use them generally because they're not like a claymore can't discern between a civilian and an enemy coming around the corner. If someone comes around the corner and you put that behind you, they're just gonna explode. So most likely you wouldn't be able to use claymores or anything like that.
Yeah,
Mm.
traps and rounds should not be too crazy.
yeah,
Is what Trigger Happiness just said, and I kind of agree with that. But yeah, let's move on.
maybe you should talk about a little bit about deployables because we just talked about traps. What you guys think about deployables? Like they announced they're gonna be something like deployables, like shields. What else?
The
Flute
door
light
wedges,
operators.
the
Yeah,
ladder,
yeah.
the.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm heading over to the Ready or Not page right here because there's like a GIF that shows them all off.
Yeah.
I believe there's also glow sticks.
Oh yeah,
Let's go sticks for clearing out rooms.
and ramming device to open doors.
Is that deployable?
Yep.
Yeah, it should be right.
That's more of an equipable
Yeah,
more than a
Is it?
deployable object. Yeah.
I thought that was they're gonna go for like ramming. How do you say it? Ram box? How do you call it? Rams, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
Like a
think.
deployable explosive?
Yeah. No, like the RAM. I think they're gonna just add it like as a deployable. I thought that gonna be like a shield, you know?
Maybe.
Because I don't.
You know,
Because, I mean,
is there
you
like
drop
a
that afterwards?
Is there another slot for that? Because like you have your gun, you have your pistol, and then you have the battering ram that comes out of nowhere and just smacks open a door. Is that like another slot?
I don't know.
Probably a
that-
special
that's-
item.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
maybe the battery ram will fall under the same riot shield slot because, of course, with that you most likely will be able to use a secondary weapon with the riot shield active and using it.
I think this is gonna be like under deployables, like the shield, the battering ram, and the ladder. I think that's something like completely different than like replacing the primary gun with a shield. I mean, if you got like a ramming device, you want to drop it at one point, you know, just to grab your sidearm. So I think this is something we're gonna see as a deployable in the game. Yeah.
Speaking of battering rams, from what I've seen before on Instagram, they posted a picture of a Bobcat, a SWAT vehicle that they use commonly.
Bearcat.
A Bearcat, yeah. From what I've seen, even real SWAT officers use is that sometimes if a door is locked from the outside of a building and they can't get in, they'll use the Bearcat and they'll hook it up with a wire and tear the whole door down, door frame and all.
Some
So-
extreme measurements we got there. Just
Yeah.
fucking rip out all walls.
I
and
think
destroy
there's
the
a
whole
good
building.
chance. I think there's a good chance we'll just smash into the whole front of the building. Really.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
that
be
would be
surprised.
cool.
They said that there's going to be at least 30 unique items from flashbangs to snake cams. I wonder how all that's going to come into play here.
Oh yeah, flashbangs. Oh, that's a great topic to talk about too.
Hmm.
Because what we like there in each game, like flashbangs act differently than they are actually in real life. I mean, because Red or Not is like not. They said they don't want to have the game as a realism game, but more as a, I think, tactical shooter, right? I think. How do you guys
Mostly
think?
realistic.
Yeah, mostly realistic. How do you guys think the game gonna work with like flashbangs?
Is it gonna be able to flash an entire room? I wonder, because like, what if you toss it at like something that's like blocking the door, but you don't realize it's blocking it, and it only flashes that side, or is it gonna get like the other side too, like
Mm. But you
Mm.
know, like what we've seen in CS:GO, for example, I know that like CS:GO is not realistic as fuck.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and
could you
some
imagine
games.
something like you can turn around, like you get flashed, you turn around, and you're not flashed? You know, I mean that kind of destroys the whole point behind flashbangs.
Is
You
that a
know?
thing? Like,
Yeah,
has anybody ever tested that? Like, if you turn around and the flash doesn't.
yeah. So
Probably
technically,
wouldn't affect your eyes.
when I was in the military, the flashbangs they don't only work with blinding people. The main point of flashbang is just to scare the threat. You chuck a bang or like a flashbang inside a building, a room, and the person gets like 2 or 3 seconds. That person will be under shock definitely, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm really scared of flashbangs because they're so goddamn loud. You can't hear
It's meant
shit
to
afterwards.
disorient the
Yeah, it's
senses.
complete. Yeah, it's
Mm.
completely like it's even you jump kind of the moment it's like exploding, you know, because like the boom is so goddamn loud. You can't do anything else than just like twitch at one point. It's just like, oh shit, what the fuck was that?
I mean,
And
in,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
some games, they're very underrated flashbangs. Like in Rainbow
Mhm.
Six Siege, no one ever uses them because you lob them in, someone looks away, and even if you do manage to get them flash, they're only flash for about like 2 seconds, and then they're just back in the action like nothing happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
how long do flashbangs usually? Like, how long does that last for? I wonder.
Oh yeah, that depends.
If you're staring right at it, it should be at least a good 6 to 10 seconds, I
Yeah.
think.
Like the flash, like if you get fully flashed, normally it's like depends how strong the flash is, because like there's different kinds of flashbangs. I know WORM, the Polish special forces, they go use bangs with 8 to 9 explosions, and they are really great. I One time in my military time we had them, and those can give you up to 1 minute blindness because they are really bright and loud. And from what I've seen so far in other games, I think flashbangs in Escape of Tarkov are actually really good, because even if you turn around, like as an example, even if you turn around, you still you have effects, and you won't be able to be 100% on point with your aim, and your gun is like moving left and right, up and down. So I think in Escape of Tarkov they did actually a really good job on the flashbangs. It's still not 100% on point, but I think that's the closest you can get at that point, like with the modern.
It's useful enough because you're just
Mhm.
going through, you're clearing rooms, you're trying to stop any sort of threat from getting to you. If you can disrupt the second, their senses for at least, almost up to 20 seconds, you can come in and make the
Mm.
arrest if needed to. Just like in SWAT 4, how you would lob a flashbang in and they would be disoriented. You can come up and arrest them by force.
I wonder how many flashbangs we're gonna get as allowed, or if they're gonna be like some sort of limit for flashbangs. Because what we know so far, magazines like ammunition, we're gonna have like a limit for 4 magazines, I think it is right now, and you can like refill your weapons with using points or like reducing your score. I mean, I would love to see at least 2 to 3 flashbangs, because in bigger scenarios, for example, school shootings, or I don't know what kind of big scenario that could be in, like in the game.
I know
I mean-
that in SWAT 4 you can go pretty crazy with it.
Yeah. How many could you have? Like
Well,
3, 4?
I literally
With a
had
mod,
like
you can have up to 3.
I had up to 9 because they had like the 3 packaging, but I think that was the mod though.
9?
That was the mod.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, like, I think there should be a limit, because you can't go in every fucking room and flash. Yeah,
I mean,
think
a
there should
vest
be a limit
could,
for 2 to
normal
3.
like tactical vents can hold about two or three grenades. So you
Mm.
can only have so much you got to be able to utilize what you can in a small to large environment, depending on what it is.
Mm.
All right, so should we move on to control?
Oh yes. Yeah. I mean, before we move out, someone triggered happiness just said, "Okay, what about tear gas or CS gas and sting ball grenades?"
What?
Um,
What was
I
the
don't.
question?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what he's trying to say with that. Like, are you trying to say like how are they supposed to be used, or how many do we have? I'm not
If
sure
they're
what he
going
means
to be
with
in the
that.
game, I think.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
like-
they're gonna be in the
Oh.
game. Like you can see from the picture that's on the website here.
I mean, tear gas, I think, could be a cool thing to see that you. Tear gas is really shit thing to have. If you get like CS gas or something like that, normally for the rest of the day you're gonna be probably wasted. It's painful. It's a pain in the ass to get like. Okay, I'm gonna call it gassed, and it's just like you won't be able to open your eyes. It's just like you're so light sensitive. You try to open your eyes, your eyelids for like a millisecond, and you instantly need to close them. It's like you have the reflex to close them. It's really painful, and
That's the
Yeah.
point of the gas and the sting ball grenades. Just like
Mm.
flash meant to disrupt the senses and put the attacker's mind into a state of shock or fear. Because with tear gas, they won't be able to smell or see or anything. With
Mm.
sting ball grenades, that hurts a lot. So they feel like they're getting attacked on a physical level other than just their eyes.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to move on to the next one here. So it says controls here, but I'm not entirely sure as to what that means.
I think controls like movement, maybe.
Control scheme.
Yeah,
Control scheme. I know that they said that the leaning button was like Alt or something like that, and I was like, how does that work?
Leaning alt. I think they said like they're gonna be like the easy leaning, like the Q and E one. Like you just can go lean left, right, and that's gonna be that extended kind of leaning. And maybe it's like some sort of keybind with alt and E. You know?
They showed before in Dead Blog 2 how they showed a GIF
Yeah.
of where you can move around in different positions because you can lean as well as crouch in different ways to look around an object to get yourself the best angle and to reduce exposure as much as you can.
Yeah, like an incremental kind of leaning system. I like that. I think it's a really good
Yeah,
idea.
exactly.
Yeah. It's just I'm more used to like the Q and E, but I mean, I play any type of scheme that a game has. So
Yeah, I mean, I played Escape of Tarkov. Maybe they're gonna try to lean on Escape of Tarkov, and
no, they didn't say
No.
it. They
No?
didn't say
Sort of
that.
incremental system though, with like positioning. I think and movement. I think Arma 3 had the most simple one because it's simply
yeah,
another button and start maneuvering yourself to wherever you see fit.
I mean, Arma 3 did a pretty good job. I think it was quite easy, and you could do it whenever you want. Just like it's so simple, but I think just like you don't have enough stances in Arma 3, like left and right, to, like leaning. I think Arma 3 is just going up and down. It's more like up and down, take cover behind points and
Actually
stuff.
really good because you could go through like little nits and cracks kind of. Do you know what I mean? And you can really get a really nice position. At the end of the day, when you really compare it with some of the games, I think it was so simple, and the way it worked was so simple that it was still intricate. And the way they did
Yeah.
it, they perfected it so well that when you actually had it and tested it out, it was a real benefit in all sorts of situations.
Yeah, they said something
also-
about. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're gonna talk about the same thing now. The scroll.
Oh
wheel,
yeah,
right?
that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say. Yeah.
They announced they're gonna be something like Escape of Tarkov, where you can choose your walking speed, your own walking speed. Like you can vary with that, and that you will be also be able to like open doors at the different speed, so you can choose how you're gonna enter your room. I don't. I'm not sure how this is gonna work with the door, but I'm really interested to see how it's gonna turn out. And also, I think with the scroll menu, they're gonna add something with the stances. Well, I'm not 100%.
I'm sure it would probably favor more people who have more buttons on their mouse.
Oh, yeah.
When you say scroll wheel for like running, do you mean like you flip it up and then it starts running like really fast, and then you flip it down and he starts
Exactly.
walking?
Yeah,
They have
Yeah.
that. They have that in
Escape.
Scum.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, I
they
didn't
do.
know that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they have
Actually,
that in
at first
Escape
I
of
was
Tarkov.
like, "This is so weird," but I got so used to it. I was like, "Oh, this is not bad." I gotta say.
In Escape of Tarkov, it's a little bit, I mean, too slow. Like the scrolling and stuff for me, it's just kind of, it's too slow. You can't choose your speed fast enough, and yeah. Also, there's one thing I want to talk about with the controls and movement. It's the running, like the sprinting.
Uh-huh.
Because what we've seen in some games is just like you run like you run forward and then you want to do like a left or right turn and you can't because you're in full sprint mode and you just
Oh,
got
I
like
hate that.
yeah, I hate that
I
because
hate that.
in CS:GO, for example, you can you can like sprint forward and then go like hard left, hard right. But if you do that, so for example, in Arma 3 or Escape of Tarkov, you just it just stops. It's just like you stop in the middle of the movement, and it's realistic, yes, but it's kind of annoying.
Yeah. That's all. I think I got to say about that. Anybody else in the comments here saying anything about controls and what they might have or whatnot?
Buckshot mentions if the weapon use might affect aim. I think what he means by that is probably that you're moving. Obviously, if you're moving at a slower, more convenient speed, then most
Oh,
likely you'd be able to aim better because you're not moving around so much.
yeah,
Well, obviously, I mean, if you're standing still and you're trying to like aim, obviously, you hold still.
Oh, the ergonomics of the weapon, most likely.
yeah. Like what I've heard so far with the weapon handling, they're not gonna try to do something like the faster, like the heavier the gun is, the faster you need to like move left and right with your mouse. So this will be off topic, and I wonder how guns will react if I'm going close to wall. Because what we've seen, like, I know I'm always bringing up the same games, but they're like really good examples, like in Escape of Tarkov or Arma 3, if you go close with the weapon to like your rifle to a wall, like you kind of go back with your arms and like hold your weapon, like your rifle, closer to your body, and I think they should
Yeah,
add
it's just
something
like
like
a
that.
more in-depth kind of first person.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I really like how you can. What is it? Like you're sitting behind cover and you can like get your gun and like put it above you to shoot over the cover. I think that's really
yeah.
cool, but I don't think they're gonna add that.
No, that should be like. The problem is, in Ready or Not, they're gonna aim for the for something like that. You don't go with lethal force into the game. Like you don't want to kill them. I think we're gonna see little to no exchanges of fire in the game. That's what I hope. I want the game to be like purely you just go for the arrest them and not shoot them. So shooting blind is kind of dangerous because you can hit hostages and stuff. So I think they shouldn't add that to the game.
Yeah, I think that should be more. I think that should be more for like the paramilitary force and
Exactly,
the bad people. Like they should be the ones doing that, not us. Because we're trying to look to see what we're actually shooting and we want to hit no hostages.
Yeah, but that kind of gonna be like kind of overpowered, I think. Like, of course, like the AI should be able to do that. Like the criminal AI should be able to do that, like shooting around corners without peeking, because they don't really care if they're gonna hit like a hostage or like a police
Blind
officer.
firing.
Exactly, like blind firing. And I think it should be, if it's gonna be implemented in the game, it should be only implemented for criminals or like criminals.
Most likely it wouldn't be
suspects.
because it would be too powerful, even just for an AI.
All right, so I think I should stop this here and be like, all right, let's move on to the next one because we got to get into this weather dynamics, I guess.
Oh yeah.
How far do you think they're really going to take it? Like, honestly, I think it's just going to go day and night and then rain. Like, I don't think they're going to add, like, freaking snow effects or anything like that.
Well, I think
There might be
rain,
snow.
but it won't be that really effective on gameplay wise. It'll be a nice effect to have.
Yeah.
It's a cool aesthetic, but aside from that, it's not really a big deal because of the most of the time you're going to be inside, except for maybe that one mission
Sniper.
that one mission that we saw in the trailer where the guys are walking in the forest. Like I can't really.
The only time I only ever thought about that is if there would be like a thunderstorm. It's like a really dark area, and like the lightning would light up the area through the windows. So that would be the only way that it would really affect anything.
Yeah, but of course, we saw the night vision things like the AMPVS-7s and the AMPVS-15s and all those big, massive night vision technology. If you've got two of those, I mean, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on nighttime, operations and stuff. So if it's going to be nighttime, obviously it's going to be used for a reason.
Tropical storms, thunderstorms, maybe. I mean,
I would love to see maybe for events, maybe like a snowstorm. You're just looking out and everything is like Why?
that
Snow.
affects the way that your guy walks because he's like running in knee-high storm.
Yeah, maybe the sound, because if you walk in snow, obviously you can hear that, like the yeah.
Well,
And
talking about
Oh,
the
yeah.
weather,
Oh,
I
that's
want to see
actually-
as well. What I want to see is, of course, with rain and stuff, character, uniform stuff get wet. Do you know what I mean? Guns have, liquid on them and kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of small detail, it's nice to have, instead of course, everyone being, super dry, just straight away when they go in.
Does that affect
Yeah.
your gun? Like if soot or mud
Yeah.
gets in the freaking gun?
If it's not upkept, then yeah, it could affect it. But usually, if it's kept up well, which they're required to, it should be fine.
In a contained scenario like your law enforcement, I doubt you'd be with a
Yeah, exactly. And
rifle.
I think they already had that on the forums, on like the one of the Reddit post was talking about the like the blocking of the gun or misfires and stuff like that, and they said they won't implement it to the game because obviously most of the time law enforcement won't be like some kind of soldier that is crawling through the mud, and I don't think they're gonna add anything that's gonna change the gun handling, like weather-wise, or how the gun will operate in like different conditions. So I think it will be pretty much static. What we will see with like rifles and whatever, rifles and tasers and pistols. So yeah, but what I was thinking about, but which is kind of connected to weather, is the shadows.
Mhm.
You know, because
Yeah.
that's also like the next topic probably. And I want to say, like,
Ooh.
I would love to see shadows being not, like most games you can disable and enable shadows. I would love to see that in. I know it's quite performance heavy, but I would love them to add like that as a like non-variable option, because shadow is like kind of a thing you need to watch, because when you peek around the corner, obviously your shadow will be traced on the ground, and everybody will be able to see it. I would love them to like.
I
add
mean,
that.
it would be important for a realistic standpoint, as well as the. It's very dynamic. So if you're going into the room and there's a spotlight on somebody, and if they start moving around, you're going to see that.
Mm.
Like an example I've seen is probably in Rainbow Six Siege is that I'm going into a room to clear it, and I see someone's shadow moving around. I
Mm.
know that there's got to be someone in the
Yeah.
corner somewhere, so that actually helps out a lot.
Exactly, but the problem is, for example, I have it in disabled in Rainbow Six, and that doesn't really work for me. So that's why I hope they're gonna be like a mandatory option that you won't be able to turn out, or shut off.
I don't know if that's a good idea, but I mean, it's a cool idea. Like, what if there's like this also goes back into the weather thing, but like, what if there's like big open windows, and like if it's like daytime, you could see like the shadows walking through the windows.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be.
like
Maybe with rain all around, and you just see like the night, like the shadow on the ground, and you're like, oh, hold on, there's one guy in the window. Watch out.
The lightning
like how it's
lights him up.
Uh,
That would be pretty cool.
Talking about light, we could actually talk about the flute light operators, because it's kind of connected to light, I think. Because the flute light operators, they announced that as a deployable or something like that at the beginning of the mission. I wonder how this is gonna be, like just like an option you can turn on and off, like that. You won't see any change, or if at one point the whole map will be will have more light in it, or because I think they're gonna be like one mission where it's really dark and you need to use your lamps and all that, and I would love to see like a flute light operator just flashing the crap out the criminals. That would be really cool to see. Anyways, what's your thoughts about that?
I'm not even sure. I can't really comment on it. You got anything, G-Force?
I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
What about you, Martin?
I'm honestly not sure on that one. You have to get a bit more context on that.
All right, well, since none of us really know, I guess we'll push on to the next one, which is operator reflexes. Like, how fast can you dodge a bullet?
I don't think it's that.
It's the operator reflexes. I mean, maybe. I mean, obviously the reflexes will be attached to the person that is playing the game, but I think the topic is more compared like to the AI officers, how fast the AI officer will be able to shoot or stun a person in the game.
Uh-huh.
I think
Oh.
the idea is not only just physical reflexes, but like off to the side reflexes. Like if you get shot, what is your character gonna do? Obviously, they're
Mm.
gonna scream out or just be in pain somewhat. But there's also gonna be the physical reflexes of what that's gonna do. That's obviously gonna start bleeding a bit.
Mm.
You know.
Like a quick draw effect. Like for example, if you're actually unarmed or maybe let's say even for like a VIP, if someone has drawn a weapon on him, he's going to have a quick draw reaction where he draws it much faster than he's drawing it when there's no enemy in front of him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it does.
In a more readied state where it's much faster, so when another enemy's alerted that you're in his presence and you both see each other and you're like, it's going to be me or him, you pull out the weapon much faster in a more frantic manner. Of course, this is something a bit small, but we could see it happen.
Like,
Kind of interesting.
is he gonna like see the enemy or see the bad guy, I guess, and then he crouches down and starts firing like as fast?
Like you remember in Insurgency how the characters go and then they start shooting each other out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Just imagine that, but it has a gameplay effect where you draw your weapon much faster than.
They showed a little clip like that where the person recording it was playing with a couple of AI, and it was showing the sadistic AI operations, and you can see how kind of the AI reacts as they move up to find this guy.
Mhm.
In that one clip. I think it was in DevBlog 3.
Uh-huh.
And you could see reactions from all the characters, the player, the AI, and the enemy AI as well. Because the AI, they jumped behind cover, behind like a vending machine, and then the other showed the commands of the AI to see how they would react.
I really like how you could see visually his morale was going away, and he was so like just giving up on it because you saw how he accidentally discharged his shotgun at the wall. Don't know if you all saw that in the little frames.
Yeah, but I think he got shot by the AI that's like standing right next to the guy that's filming on the right side. I think that's what happened, and he fired off a round because he got shot. I think that's what happened there.
Triggered Happiness just asked in the comment section, what about taking fire from the suspect in front of somewhere in like a far distance or something you don't know where he is shooting from?
I guess he's asking, how would your character react if they were getting shot at from an unknown position?
Well, one, he would find some cover, first of all. That or he'd go inside of an area, like inside of a building or something. That's what I would think.
So, shall we move on for the next topic, or?
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of time here, so
Yeah, true. We just said operator undercover cops. If you guys haven't listened to the last podcast, we talked about a possible scenario where they're gonna be like a undercover cop we need to extract from the objective. So yeah, I think we could talk about the AI of the undercover cop, how he gonna like react to us or something like that, the moment we find him. Will he be able to join the group, maybe attack the enemy, or what you guys think about
this could work only in a story sense.
Well, I'm thinking how is the cop gonna react when he or she is right next to the gang member themselves? Like, are they gonna keep playing along with the gang, or are they gonna keep
probably try to arrest the other gang? Like if there's just one gang member, cover cop is right next to them, they'll try and arrest him since they're up close.
Yeah.
Me personally, though, I feel like undercover cops most likely won't be a thing in the game, mainly because I just don't see how to them other than if it was along with the story.
They were a thing in SWAT 4.
Yeah.
But all you had to do was just basically go rescue him, and that was about it. Just tie him down.
So he was like a hostage?
Yeah, he was.
Basically.
Yeah. That'd be the only way I'd see how there would be undercover cops in a game.
I mean, right now at that point, I would say there's two options to see the undercover cop in Ready or Not. One is he's taken as a hostage, and secondary, we need to extract him, and the enemy, like the criminals, don't know he's an undercover cop. And yeah, in both options, I see like a lot of potential how the AI of the police officer, like the undercover cop, will work. But I think it will be whether something like, if this is going to be implemented in Ready or Not, I think it is going to be more like I don't know, like was a hostage rescue, as we already said. So
You just go in, tie her down, and move on.
Exactly.
That's what I feel like it's gonna be like. But we can only dream.
Yeah, Buckshot Barber just said, yeah, that would be pretty hard to write, write the undercover cop in the story. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's kind of stupid to say, but I think the main objective for undercover cop is like, first of all, not to get like that the enemy like doesn't find him as a snitch or something like that. So I don't know. It's kind of stupid to think about that.
I mean, it's a really cool idea, but we got to move on.
Yeah, we can move on. The point system will be our next topic.
Well, point system for
Like-
negotiators.
Negotiator or everything technically. I mean,
For
do you guys
shields and stuff like
for shields, deployables, everything. Do you guys think there would be an option that the negotiator will be like is evolving? You can level him up. Do you think that will be an option?
I don't know. I don't think that's
that.
really.
May be like a leveling system, but I don't see how that would work in a sense of just one game on its own, because that's like, depending on your performance, you'd get a certain amount of points, and then you'd have to go back to like a refill point to get new stuff. I don't know. It was mentioned before that there would be points to get different types of shield, and again, that would be the same way. But so far, the only shield that I've seen is this one here.
Yeah, like the one from the trailer.
Yeah, it's got
like,
2 lights on it.
I mean,
That's
it would be
about
quite
it.
interesting to see because from what I know so far, because back in the days I was in the military and we actually trained parts of the German special, like this German SWAT team, and they used something like a Kevlar sort of shield. It was like for one man, they could hold it in front of them. It was like mostly made of Kevlar, and yeah, I could see like that kind of shield.
Yeah, they would. What
yeah.
would happen? This happens a lot with a lot of tactical, with SWAT, GSG-9, stuff like that. They'll usually have one person with a shield, and then they'll all form up on a line. I've even
Exactly.
seen that in situations where the police had to deal with issues. They had one guy bringing a shield, and they followed along with him as they cleared out certain places.
How will shields be balanced? Well, they said that you're only allowed to have 2, and also you could set them down to be an actual like barricade, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and they're not huge either. You can see that it's barely protecting. It's just meant to protect his torso and his head. His legs.
Yo, is he holding a shotgun? is he
No,
holding a
he's holding a
shotgun?
pistol. It's got a tactical.
No.
on it.
You mean on the
Bottom
left
left.
side? Yeah, seems like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
Is he holding a
He's
shot-
holding a primary on the back. So that kind of answers the thing that we talked about before, where if it wouldn't be a primary object, that's a deployable right there. That answers it for us. He's got the shotgun
Yeah.
that's not on his back, that's on his front, because you can see the
Yeah.
barrel is over his legs. So he's obviously got that on a sling. And when he wants to switch over between the shield, he can set it down and he can pick up his shotgun.
I mean, like having a shotgun as like a primary and the shield as kind of secondary. I don't know. It's just like kind of annoying, I think.
Maybe it's like a breaching shotgun that's a secondary or a deployable.
I don't know. That looks like a big shotgun right there.
It does.
Because they said that you can get the shield at the beginning, but it does hinder the way that you walk because it's a
Yeah.
fucking
I
shield.
mean, I'm a shield person myself. Every sort of game that I play where it's tactical, I'm always grabbing some sort of shield.
I mean,
so
having a shield in like Red or Not, I think the only thing that should be impacted is maybe your field of view, like maybe you can see less and how fast you can walk, because a shield like that is actually really heavy. It's really it's quite.
Trigger made a good point saying, how will the suspects shoot the officer carrying the shield? Most likely out of a reactionary shot, they'll shoot towards the middle. That's
Yeah.
why it's protecting the torso. But most likely, if they actually get a shot in, they could probably hit him in the legs if they fired enough. But most likely, by the time the person with the shield is advanced on him, or another person has shot him, most likely they won't be able to affect too much of the person with the shotgun.
I mean, because when you get hit, if you get hit in the leg, you're gonna start to limp. Like, that's how it's been in the SWAT series. Or if you get shot in the arm, it's gonna be harder for you to aim. So I'd imagine if he gets hit in the legs, then it's gonna be really tough for him to move that shield around. So he's just gonna have to deploy it.
I mean, what I could see in the game is like, because if you would have like two kinds of shields, it would be nice to have like a light version of shield, like that is really good against small firearms and fragmentation grenades and stuff like that, and like a heavy shield. And each of the shields, like the one with like the light version, you can move faster with, and like it gives obviously less protection, and the heavy version just gives you like a lot of protection, obviously, and you can barely run with it. I mean, I would love to see like some kind of variation of the handling of the shield in the game. And
They might have that, but
yeah, and the other thing is, because I would love to see like the lights on the shield to like that you
Yeah.
can turn it on. That
they're
would be really
probably
cool.
really bright because the effect of a dark area and suddenly there's this bright flash. You know,
Mm.
there might be a way that lights on there have like a strobe feature because strobe like
Yeah.
really disorients someone.
Yeah, like strobe light would be actually really good to see like some sort of attachments for shields, or maybe like you can customize your shield and add strobe light, or like I don't know, like a floodlight or something like that to the shield. I think it would be cool to see like some sort like of attachments to the shield.
Yeah.
You know what would be really cool if they made it so that you could use the shield as like a melee weapon. Just walk up and slap him.
like ooh, take that, and she's like,
And
oh,
yeah,
no.
just hit him and disorient him a little bit.
On the ground,
That
dirtbag.
would be
I'm sure
actually
that
cool
could
to
be
see.
the
But I
point.
think melee is not a thing in Ready or Not.
Yeah, they said that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, it's
It's
not.
going
God,
shit.
I keep
what a
forgetting.
pity. I would love to slap those fucking criminals.
Shield bash him.
On the ground,
Getting back to
dirtbag.
the point system with negotiators.
Mm.
Wasn't there a thing to have negotiators in SWAT 4? No?
I don't
No.
think so.
I
Maybe
feel
I'm-
like
No,
negotiators
that's
should
actually a
work in
new
a sense
thing.
that they can like reduce. I feel like it should be more of an upgrade, so that way if you can get
No.
negotiators, you can reduce the amount of
They-
hostages.
Yeah, they explained it exactly
Yeah.
like that. It's negotiators are used to get hostages, like some more hostages
Yeah.
out of the area. Is basically what it does.
Maybe
And
like
have
some
more of the
moral.
criminal
Yeah, maybe like
surrender
some
more.
criminals that like don't have like that such a good moral for the fight, or like the battle with the law enforcement officers, and they just give up. That would be cool to see. Like maybe like the percentage at what they surrender is maybe higher if you
I mean,
use
with
some
like an
negotiation.
individual or like even a group of people who are in like say like a robbery or a
Mm.
home invasion, most of the time they're not looking for conflict. So if you can, negotiate them out of it, or you can disorient them, most of the time you'll have a lot higher chance of them surrendering. But if you have missions where, it's like a giant bank robbery and it's these armed forces who've had military experience, even, they're most likely not going to surrender.
Buckshot Barber just said,
Uh,
"What
they-
about nerf gas?"
That's I don't think that would work.
I don't think that will work.
No, they have.
Yeah, well,
They have
there may
C2,
be,
but
there
that's
may
not the
be, like we
same.
said with the scenarios, like maybe nightclubs are being gassed up, some sort of extremist,
yeah.
kind of, group.
Maybe.
Oh.
He's on the right track, I guess, because we're going to be we've identified S10 gas masks and all these sorts of equipment, and that's going to be used.
Oh, you're
But
right.
my question is when your skin is revealed to a certain extent with gas, if you're shot somewhere around the head, and let's say you got some sort of ballistic protection, or even in the body, any sort of incision will probably make you prone to the gas. So is that sort of scenario going to be a one hit, you're fucked kind of thing? Or is that
I
gonna
don't
be, you
think
can walk
there's
off?
going to be any sort of lethal sort of gas in the game, because then
Maybe.
that would be
Well, we don't
extremely
know.
powerful.
We don't know.
We've seen some of the images with the paramilitary guy and the sort of fighting over a handgun. I've seen that picture before, and that was
Yeah.
probably the nightclub mission because it just looked like that from the background.
Yeah, there's also a picture of I think it's a paramilitary guy standing over a SWAT guy, and they both have some type of gas
Yeah,
masks on.
S10 and some sort of Scott model. I forgot the.
Oh, I thought those were both some SWAT officers. I just thought that was some. Yeah.
Ebolas.
No. It's a paramilitary guy on top of a SWAT guy.
Then I missed something. Nerf gas would be a little bit. I mean, I like the idea of what Martin said, like the moment you get hit once, you just like instantly wasted. That would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
But
That seems like it would be extremely hard to
yeah,
program,
like
because you're having to encounter multiple different physical systems.
or maybe not like some strong nerf gas. Maybe the moment you get hit, you just like your view just get blurry, and you know, like if you just get
I mean,
CS gas, and yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I think a more realistic term would be if your mask got shot at all, it wouldn't be operable anymore because you got this big hole in your gas mask. If like the lens got shot, then you wouldn't be able to use that gas mask anymore.
Oh yeah.
There might be a thing like that, but
I just noticed that this picture has a lot of fumes on it. So maybe there is a level with the freaking nerd gas
Maybe.
or
I think
something.
that kind of looks like the background of that picture. It's like I think we can see the table on the left
it's a fog
side.
machine.
Yeah, maybe it looks like
Yeah.
a nightclub. Yeah, with the annual staircase.
Yeah, maybe.
That's probably the next topic for the next podcast. What's up there in the annual staircase?
Oh man.
What is
What is
it?
that?
What's up the annual staircase? Alright.
What's up the anal staircase? All right.
Yeah.
Since we were talking before about how certain characters would react if they got shot a certain way with gases, moving on to the damage system, I'm sure it would work different ways with how you got shot depending on the weapon. Like if it's a rifle rather than a pistol, depends on where you're hit.
I like how Jeffrey just pointed out that in the picture the police officer got his finger around the trigger. I don't know if you ever served in the military or law enforcement, but that's like a no thing to do.
But he is holding the guy
Well,
hostage.
he's trying to kill him.
Yeah,
you know that, right?
Maybe he's trying to kill him. Kind of looks like he's saving him.
I think I'm sure he's gonna blow his
That-
brains out of his head or blow them into the.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
told you that's the paramilitary.
I'm not.
That's the
I say
paramilitary
He
guy.
looks pretty ready to kill that guy if anything happened.
I swear to God, that's not a suspect.
That is a suspect.
That is a suspect.
I'm sure it's not. I'm absolutely sure it's not.
Those the BDUs we've found though, to finish it off, those BDUs we found, we don't have any sort of law enforcement using old El Salvadoran M81, EDRL camouflage patterns or any sort. It's just you wouldn't see that.
But still, maybe.
So somebody says that. Do you think the M14 as a weapon for the entry team is unrealistic? I mean, for Americans, like I think you could just bring whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as
obviously
it's-
depends
To a
what
certain
the
extent.
department has, but I think knowing that you have high ground, I think it'd be better to have it transition towards the high ground, if that makes sense. It's,
Uh-huh.
because it's a high ground oriented weapon. It's a high caliber weapon, 308 or 7.62, however you want to see it. Do you know what I mean? Very similar rounds, but having that kind of high caliber is not going to really. I think it's a bit overpowered. But of course, you've got the FAL. Of course, we've seen DSA Arms, model FAL for ground troops.
Uh-huh.
So M14 not far fetched. But of course, most of them you won't go full auto with the FAL. It's probably going to be some sort of semi-auto only. But we'll see. We'll have to see, because then if that's the case, you pretty much got now like a battle rifle section technically, because they're both 308 chambered firearms.
Too much penetration.
Exactly,
Yeah, I think yeah. That's what Buckshot just said. Yeah, I think that's like way too
It'd
dangerous.
be overcompensation.
But still, maybe you could change the ammunition type, so it's maybe not
it's
fluoro
funny
8
you
like a
say
full metal.
Yeah,
Like
so
maybe how it's called hollow point. Maybe it's hollow point. You can change the ammunition.
Yeah,
it's
you
still gonna be
most
the
likely you
same
will be able to.
cartridge, that's the only thing. It's just going to be obviously a different type.
That's actually a good thing to talk about right there, using either full metal jacket rounds or hollow point, because the
Yeah.
idea of hollow point is that it stops in the body, so that way it doesn't harm anyone behind it. So the way
And-
that the damage system would work, depending on the caliber and the
There's
type
also that one thing that I don't know. Was it hollow point? There's that one ammunition that splits open and it's just like shredding your organs. It's just like you want to survive that when you got shot at. It's some sort of hollow point, but it's kind of open, you know. It's at yeah, the rib bones. Yeah, exactly, the rib bones. Yeah, I think it's called like that or something like that. I don't know. It's like it's really cool to see that. I saw that used to once in like ballistic jelly or ballistic, what's it called? You know what I mean? Like the jelly thingy where you should bullets in it. It's just like ballistic gel thing, mate.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like opening, it's shredding all the. It's like instant kill. I would say. I mean, I would love to see something like that inside Ready or Not. I mean, that would be actually really gruesome to see how that can turn out at the end. And that's actually something I could imagine, like that kind of ammunition using the M14. I think it was. Yes, yeah, the M14. I would love to see that in the game. Kind of feel like it's useless against armor. Yeah, Trigger. Yeah, you're right. It's technically just like against soft targets. The moment you use Kevlar or any sort of ballistic vest, it's just like most bullets, like hollow points and like that rip round, is kind of useless against Kevlar.
Well, I don't think you'll notice much difference between rip rounds and like a regular hollow point, since the biggest difference is probably like internal.
Cheer, everybody.
Yeah, he just joined. How you doing, mate?
Hey. Pretty good.
Alright, nice. So yeah, Chiro just joined. He missed the beginning, so yeah, I think he's gonna stay for the rest of the podcast with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically we would have to end it in like 4 minutes, but we could keep going.
Yeah, if he just joined, of course we're gonna keep going. I think we still have like the damage system open, which is kind of a big topic. So just gonna talk about the damage system and like come to an end. I think. What you guys think about it?
Well, what do we mean by damage? Do you mean like getting hit in the arm,
like,
and then losing the ability to
player damage we see in the game, or like how you guys think this should be working out in the game?
What happens when you get hit in the chest? Like, because I already know that when you get hit in the arms, it screws with your aim. I know that when you get hit in the legs, it makes you limp. But what happens when you get hit in the chest?
I would love to see something like the moment you get hit in the chest, because of all the energy, you just get knocked back, and you maybe for like 5 minutes you're out of breath or something like that, or maybe like not 5 minutes unable to move, you know, but something like you go up, go back up, and if it didn't penetrate your Kevlar vest, you just got like that heavy breathing, because it's like pain in the ass to get shot, like in the Kevlar vest. I would love to see something like that, like some sort of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you just like you can't breathe, or like your weapon's swearing, like it's just like too high and stuff like that. That would be really cool.
I have to wonder, like, how much like if somebody decides to bring like a vest, you know, or like how is the bullet gonna penetrate that? Like, is it gonna like hit us once and then it goes away, or is it just gonna like actually be there the entire time?
Most likely gonna be there the entire time.
Trigger Happiness just asked, when shot in the chest, is it going to be a more painful grunt or scream? I think it's more like a grunt because the moment you don't have the air to scream, obviously. It's just like
people being winded, if you think about it realistically, because you're probably just going to be fucking absolutely dead when you get filled with lead, to be honest. And there's such situations.
I mean, I would love to play some death sounds I've heard already, but
like blown someone's kneecap off or something, I guess.
Oh Jesus Christ.
That's gonna make you scream, but if you're getting like hit just like that, it's gonna make you grunt.
I think we're gonna like end the stream like with a lot of like death sounds. You know? Like everybody's just saying. I know it's kind of not everybody should do that, but if you got the guts for it, just go ahead and just look up police activity. There are a lot of police shootings where persons get hit, and most of the time it's like they grunt, and it's more like a grunt when they get hit by a bullet.
Oh, more of a shock,
and then they scream afterwards.
Scream is kind of like, it's really hard to scream when you're under a lot of pain. It's really hard to scream.
Your adrenaline's running. You don't really feel it at first, but then later on, you're
I would love something like to see something more of a heavy breathing when you get hit.
Sounds about right.
If you get hit in the head, we already had that once, I think, asked, but what kind of effect do you guys think will we see when we get hit in the head? Some sort of blurriness and stuff like that?
Yeah, blurriness.
How effective is the helmet gonna be? I wonder. Like,
I mean,
if somebody's shooting at you with a pistol, is it gonna go through, or is it gonna?
Certain angles.
oh yeah,
certain. I mean, the idea of a helmet is to block any sort of thing coming your way. So most likely, if like a grenade blows up, your helmet's supposed to protect against that. Your helmet is not necessarily made to be all the way bulletproof. It's just to slow down bring down the
Yeah.
damage and slow down the movement. Because it has to go through solid metal.
Because with the helmets that we have, it doesn't look like it covers up everything. It just looks like it covers up like the backside and the top right there, like, and then the rest is covered up with like headphones.
It's just meant to cover up your skull or your brain. That's about it.
I mean, I would love to see something like every time you get hit, you get like some sort of effect, even if it's like you hit but you're not hurt. It's just like I want to see like some sort of indicator that says, okay, I just got hit. I need to be more careful. Like you get hit in the head, but your helmet just like the bullet bounces off your helmet, and you're just like, oh shit, and some sort of visional problems, I would say, call it, like that, some sort of that kind.
Uh-huh.
I mean, damage system, I think it's like a thing that is kind of hard to manage. It depends how they want to like figure out the game is gonna work, more like some sort of realistic type of game or some sort of, I don't know.
Well, they said that they don't want it to be a straight simulation, so.
Yes. Shall we do one more topic before we end the podcast, or?
Well, technically, it's already over, but.
The other ones are just Shock, which we've gone over multiple times already. We could talk about events real quick before we finish up.
Yeah.
Events. Yeah, I had the idea that would be really cool. At one point during maybe the winter time, they're gonna change the maps to maybe something more like Christmas-like, or maybe Halloween. That would be fun to see.
That would be great.
Yeah, like some sort of like the suspects were Santa.
Seasonal events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be like seasonal events, as well as there will be most likely like multiplayer events going on, because that's how you can kind of keep the multiplayer going, is that you just keep it going with different like small story events.
Entry team, this is Talk. The Santa Claus killer is on the loose again.
Or maybe they just changed the call signs to, I don't know, Rudolph and Santa. That would be fun to see.
You can kind of think of Payday in the sense they have like seasonal events and stuff like that.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. Every now and then.
Sounds. I mean, I would love to see that, but it's not necessary. Just like fantasy in the game, some sort of.
Just to keep it mixed up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Just like add some small little surprises.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Trigger Happiness just asked, for Halloween events, is it going to be more darker missions?
It's going to be actual ghosts in the game.
There's going to be jack-o'-lanterns everywhere.
Maybe the suspect's going to look like some ghosts, some dressed up criminals like ghosts and fucking, how's it called again? Jason. That would be fun. Imagine at one mission you need to like kill Jason. Like there's a mass killer. Yeah, I mean some sort of serial killer, and at one point you need to take him out of some sort. And he's like dressed up as Jason.
That'd be cool.
Or before they go full zombie mode or something.
Alright.
That would be great, honestly.
I think we've covered up pretty much every topic we had for this podcast. And for the next one, we're trying to add someone like a special guest. A special guest. He still needs to reply. Mm-hmm. I've got some sort of connection with someone right now, and yeah, maybe for the next podcast we're gonna have like a special guest. So
maybe, quote unquote.
Maybe it's not 100% sure. Maybe
I'm not gonna miss out on being in the special one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a special episode of Radio Not Podcast. All right, I think yeah.
All right, well, thanks everybody for coming out. This has been the Ready or Not Community Podcast, and I guess we're signing out.
Yes.
So long, folks.
See ya for the next one.